your country can do for you.
The white man is the oppressor.
Well, I'm not a crime.
I am the greatest.
I am somebody.
Read my lips.
I have a dream.
Planes left Iranian airspace.
Overcome. The best is yet to come.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. We've come to speak with you again because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains, wishing the sound of silence. In restless dreams, I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Beneath the halo of, I turned my collar to the cold and damp, and because my eyes were stabbed by the vision of a bright light. And I know to those who have been fans of Simon and Garfunkel, you're probably going, Dean, you got to stop singing at the start of your show here. Now we're going, my child arrived the other day. He came to the world in a virtual way, but there's planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before, and I said, how did he grow? And he said, you gotta be like me, son. You gotta be like me, Dad. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you coming home, Dad? I don't know when, but we'll get together then, and you'll know we'll have a good time. Now, as I'm precariously going through Harry Chapin and Simon and Garfunkel, my father over here is having we're not going to call it a cardiac infarction. we're going to call it, we're doing this, picture this, folks, we're doing the sound check. And we've been through this before. Explain, Dad, what's going on here?
Well, there's a really good Mexican restaurant in the Walnut food court, and you wouldn't think there would be I bet it happens to be pretty darn good. And I love Mexican food, so
And
I'm going to start eating after the show instead of before.
see, that's my one. As someone who's done this program now for 15 years, and has always had that thing where, okay, I'm gonna eat something right before the show, and then halfway through the show, you're like, that may have not been the wisest choice. Yeah, when we did the sound check, he actually didn't have to speak. His stomach went. So we are the world. We are the tongue tacos. We are the food court. So, folks, bring your passport. Your passport to. I don't. You probably can't hear what's going on over here, but it sounds like somebody's fracking with my dad.
It's Mount Vesuvius erupting again.
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere.
Pompeii better luck out.
Somewhere there's two people going, we're the only ones that survived this whole disaster. And we're lucky it was in that, and still I shall rise, folks. Still I shall rise. It's Christmas, Dad. I was gonna do a Christmas show, and I went out to look for Christmas hats, and I realized my noggin is too large. This head, which, I don't know, did you drop me a lot as a kid, Dad? Was there some because I know I bounced my head off, the tricycle, and there was the whole ferret thing.
But that had nothing to do with your hat.
People actually may debate that, but that's a whole nother issue. I'm gonna share a saying with you that I think you may appreciate. And I thought about you, Dad, when I saw this, and I wrote it down in my little notebook. Yes, my little manifesto here. It's one of the ones that they'll find when Law and Order comes to my house, and they're like, "What was he scribbling?" Oh, we're a little concerned here, son. Some of your scribblings. There's a saying that the pessimist looks down and hits his head. The optimist looks up and loses his footing. The realist looks forward and adjusts his path accordingly. I gotta,
Because I've always been an optimist, so.
Maybe I should have checked with him before I read this, because I'm thinking, man, we're hitting that realist part.
I'm an optimistic realist. How's that?
Okay, we can deal with that. Okay, we're good with that. Dad, Christmas. What is your fondest memory of Christmas? And by the way, we've gotten requests. And by the way, nice red shirt. I went to the food court to meet Dad as he's eating his Mexican food that makes sounds that most humans possibly could never understand. And I look up and there's a guy sitting right across in the next table.
Yep.
And he's wearing a red shirt. Did you guys plan that? Was there some?
Yeah, I called him up to make sure we had color coordinated when we came to the food
okay.
court.
I'm just curious because I'm in the food court. I'm walking to the studio. I'm focused and I'm looking for the man in the red shirt, not the man in the red shoe, but the man in the red shirt. And they cloned him. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad, Christmas.
Christmas.
Let's talk Christmas. What's your earliest Christmas memory?
My earliest Christmas memory?
What was the one thing you wanted as a kid and you wanted,
That was easy.
and by the way, he doesn't like my button, but Mom does.
Spinning rod and reel.
We're not talking this year.
I'm talking about when I was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I made my dad, I saw it in Montgomery Wards.
Monkey wards.
Montgomery Wards. It was on 34th Street and Central Avenue in St. Pete. I was about 6 years old and I saw that and I wanted it. And my dad got it to me for Christmas. So.
Very cool. My earliest Christmas memory was wanting the Lone Ranger rifle, because at the time it was the early 70s. We were in Cape Ock Tree in the trailer there, and my first memory was
mobile home.
Thank you, mobile home. And I heard that. Thank you, advanced class and Erica, for bringing that. Thank you. And we're still glad we didn't float away during that whole tropical storm, but we won't talk about that. But as a kid, I must admit, and I'm sure there's kids out there who have done this. I know I'm not the only one. By the way, I miss the JCPenney and Sears catalogs. I used to pore over those,
You had things underlined, pages dog-eared.
I
Yeah.
don't seem to recall that. By the way, I've got this one dog-eared. By the way, this is for yeah. But
Did you want a new Barbie?
does she come in a drone? Yeah, I'm like, somewhere Ken's going. I feel anatomically incorrect here, but no, my earliest memory, one of my earliest memories, and please, this is the part where this is a great thing about doing a show with your dad. And calling him before the show, or just calling him in basic general, you go, remember that time when I was a kid? And he goes, no, I don't recall that. Or he does recall that. So we're trying to put a timeline here together. And there was a point where I remember running through, this is after I spilled the Kool-Aid, and
Yeah.
we won't talk about that expensive issue,
Anyhow.
red Kool-Aid, but you had one of those things like the movie Christmas Story, where there was like literally 6 or 8 different plugins into this is back when we used to plug in everything. Yeah, just put it on the wall, everything's fine. And I remember running by and seeing spark of fire, and I'm like, that was not a Christmas light that we probably, and I know my dad's going, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, son. But I do recall one day I saved all our lives because I was conscientious about, wondering why there was,
Sparks come out of the wall?
sparks coming out of the wall. and as a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, you're like, oh, look at the pretty colors. But they weren't so pretty. But my first memory was getting that Lone Ranger rifle. It was before you guys got me the BB gun. So it was that initial thing. And the whole situation was, well, when you wake up in the morning on Christmas morning, you can open up one gift. And I always like to open up the one gift before Christmas because then you kind of got that, But Dad, I woke up like, I don't know, had to have been 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I knew where the rifle was. I saw it in the back of the tree. You guys tried to hide it. There was no hiding the Lone Ranger rifle. I knew where, and I was like Tonto going, Kemosabe, I must get your rifle. And, and Silver, the horse, is going, oh, dude, just go for it. But long story short, I still remember the look on your face and Mom's face when I woke up that morning and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Then you start, playing Cowboys and Indians. And it was a little too early, but at least I didn't put my eye out. That's the important thing. Even one funny story, you guys got me a Daisy BB gun one year for Christmas, and we're in Alaska. Everyone's got guns, everyone's responsible, everyone's shooting everything, but we're responsible. We never heard anything go horribly wrong. And then my good friend Mike Wagner, who has since passed, and God bless him, he had a very annoying little brother named Ralphie. And as an only child, I did not know what it meant to have an annoying little brother until I met Ralphie. And for some reason, we wanted to shoot Ralphie. I don't know, And thank you, by the way. Thank you for the gun. And there is a statute of limitations on Daisy BB gun shootings. I think I'm about a year away from that. But remember Mike Wagner's house? He had that amazing house, the German family. They lived up on the hill.
Yeah.
And this is the winter, so everyone's wearing like these heavy duty jackets, and we're all just.
Oh, you wore parkas and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you were. I mean, you're this close from walking on the moon. When it came to what you were wearing, because of your situation, and I must confess, God, I had to have been 12 years old, and we chased Ralphie up the hill, shooting him with BB guns, and my BB gun actually got him right in the butt. Well, the parents, who were German and were quite, how you say, not understanding about having their younger son shot,
Yippers.
they took my gun away. And they said, thank you, you cannot get your gun back until you tell your parents. Dad, guess how long it took me to tell you guys? Oh, it was a while. It was a while. I was like...
32.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we may be stretching that time period out a little bit, but in dog years, it felt like 32. And I still remember Mom, Dad shot my best friend's little brother, and parents got the gun, and they won't release it. So I don't know if it was you or Mom or you all had to go over to the house. I had to apologize to him for shooting the little brother with the BB gun, and I got my gun back. But here's the funny part, and this is where life is so small, Dad. Coming back, and thank you for that, by the way, and this is medicinal marijuana for everyone that's trying to get things right. Thank you, Amendment 2. What do you think we do before the show? We water this, like all day long, I
thought it was a salad bar.
Is it kale? Oh God, I hope it's not kale. Okay, as long as we're not gluten-free here. But thank you. But small story, I came back in '95. The CEO was working for a video production company called Frostbite Productions, and my dad's stomach is still making noises. I almost feel like he's like the the Pillsbury Doughboy, if I poke him, he's going to make a noise.
It's just that stupid giggle that he made.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Okay. We prefer not to see that or hear that. But I was working for the video production company, and really amazing girl named Crystal. Took her out, and we're sitting at a bar, one of the few bars in Anchorage, Alaska. And
One of the few.
I was trying to be nice, Dad. What else do you do in Anchorage?
There's churches and bars in Anchorage.
Okay, thanks for bringing reality back to the situation. So we're at and somehow the topic of Mike Wagner and shooting his little brother comes up, and she goes, "You mean Ralphie?" And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And this is like 20 years past this whole taking my BB gun away, my wonderful Daisy BB gun, and she goes, "I actually dated Ralphie." I was like, "Okay, wait a minute, hold on. I'm on a date with a girl whose former boyfriend I shot in the bud as a kid," and she goes, "He probably deserved it." I was like, "That's small world." There we go. By the way, I want to thank again Erica in advanced class, and just as far as Christmas, this is a time of season where there was an amazing girl today on the news that has leukemia, and she is one of those people where and I see this so many times in children that have cancer or debilitating diseases, and they don't even think about their own situation. They pay it forward, Dad. Mm-hmm. And, they go and they do so much. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Because, now is the time of the season we see stories like this, but I tell you what, I'm a crier, and so far I've not cried. We're only like 15 minutes in the show, but stories like that just, that amaze me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What happens, I'm not sure. I just know that those people usually have bigger hearts than anybody else because they've experienced the downside themselves and just wanted to make sure that other people experience the upside.
Absolutely, and that's as we've often said on this program, and I believe this is Father and Son 16.0. And you think after this we'd probably get it right, but it's
We're still practicing.
That's a good point. But when we have amazing people like that Nubian queen over there, that Nubian queen Erica, I see her kind of moving back and forth over there. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Yeah, I got a smile. That's all I ask. Got a smile. But I appreciate everyone that provides this forum for the freedom of speech. I appreciate Dora and Antonio and everyone here at Tampa Bay Community Network, because without this, we'd basically be talking to each other, and frankly, that's gonna, we need to expand on that. And I think we really found that it's an amazing thing. Now, Dad, do we talk about Donald Trump?
Sure.
Okay, what day is today? December 10th.
Yep.
Donald
Trump is the president-elect. Okay, moving on.
Okay, actually, I'm good.
I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Actually, I'm good.
Because if we say anything, we'll just get a nasty tweet.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all throughout the house, not a twit was tweeting, not even using a mouse. By the way, this is a PSA to those who are watching who steal baby Jesus from the nativity scenes. Now, there has been an increase of people, in nativity scenes. Dad, the saddest thing, it was like 10 years ago when they said, well, we can't put a nativity scene in front of our church because it's going to offend Muslims and it's going to offend people that are non-denominational. I'm sorry. What? You know, are the wise men suddenly more stupid? Is that even a sentence? Possibly.
Nah.
But you know, I see, you know, and here's the best part about it, Dad, was the I don't know if you just heard that. But
That was the best part about it.
that was actually okay.
That was easy.
Oh, everybody should. I mean, no matter. I respect everybody's religion.
Yes.
If I want to put a nativity scene out and my neighbor has a menorah, or, you know, it's Ramadan for the I'm sorry, I'm doing good, for the Hebrews or whatever different types of religious, your Islam, Shinto, I don't care. I respect your religion. You should respect mine, and you know that's about it.
Well, we celebrated Kwanzaa every year. I mean, oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, that's a different dad.
Yeah.
Sorry. But Santa Claus is coming to town. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So you better build his wall straight. That's what's coming to town, folks, January 20th. And that's where we're going to leave this off here on far as the Trump situation. Hillary won the popular vote, the recount thing. I'm so tired of hearing that. I literally want to go. You are the weakest link. And thank you for that, by the way. Okay. When it comes to stirring the pot and not the melting pot, when it comes to where we're going here as far as forward direction, this is where I want to go. I want to go into my Toys R Us catalog.
You're gonna have to continue on. This is gonna happen.
You know, and here's the part that people aren't understanding when they're watching the show, because it's probably not. In fact, we're gonna have to, Erica in advanced class. Next time we do a show, and it'll be not until next year, we're gonna put a microphone on his stomach, and we're gonna pop that right in the belly button, and because I want people to understand that
I don't think that would be a good idea myself.
Okay, I think you've talked me out of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
moving on.
Dad, you asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I said, you know, it was the kitchen set. It was, you know, the Guns of Navarone play set, something dealing with Spider-Man. But no, the drone, Dad.
Drones?
Drones.
Drones?
Drones. We can get our kids drones, and this is what I really. Whoa, hold on a sec here. Okay. You know, if you look over here, you see what we're supposed to be. And it always amazes me when you see these ads for toys. It's the big kitchen, and they got the girl next to the kitchen, and she's making her Play-Doh, you know, pancakes. But I think we're getting to the point now where it's and Target actually started this, where there's not a boys and a girls section. It's just
Toys.
toys. And at first, Dad, I was like, come on. I mean, are we getting to the point where we have to Caitlyn Jenner everything? Are we getting to the point now where, you know, frankly, the bathroom situation, we'll make one bathroom and we can all pee in the pool, and you know, unless. By the way, who invented that?
I don't know, but they were pretty smart.
You know, that sucked. You know, that sucked the fun out of the '70s. I'm sorry, but when we were kids back in the '70s, back in the day, we could pee in that pool, and no one knew the wiser unless they were swimming through it and they went, "Why is the water warmer
here?" Yeah.
You know, and then suddenly, you know, some guy said, "Well, purple dye is coming up," and you know, so literally you were like, okay, I'm peeing Jimi Hendrix in the pool. You know, it's purple haze inside my brain, inside my pool. You must refrain. Okay, I'm going to stop singing right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to,
That's a good idea.
okay, that's the reason why I don't karaoke.
Yeah, but well, okay, you're talking about girls and boys sections for that. I mean, if I at Clearwater High School, they would not let me take home ec.
Well, Dad, they've tasted your cooking, and he's like, wait a minute, what? No,
You didn't get to be your size without eating it.
No, if it wasn't bad enough for my dad to sit there and say that, I look over in the
Erica's cracking up.
and Erica's like, you would not, okay. Now look, I'm trying out for Shrek 4. I'm looking to do the sequel. It's not easy being green, like I said earlier. But thank you, Erica, for that backup on that one, by the way.
Again, there's no reason why a girl should not get a chemistry set, or well, like we used to get erector sets. There's no reason why a girl can't do that. It's all part of the science.
This is
So,
true.
get something. Please get something for your kids that makes them use their brain, and get off the couch and go outside occasionally. Baseball, mitt,
It's a beautiful day. I mean, God, as far as our weather, I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna sit inside and you go out in the food court in the mall or any place else, and everybody's sitting around staring at this stupid little 5-inch screen. That's just absolutely amazing. And it's still amazing that they can walk, chew gum, and do the phone at the same time, which they can't. So.
And that's my dad, and I approve that message. Because I've seen you folks, half the time I'm thinking, why are you just so distracted? And here's the fun part. When I see them driving, the first thing I think of when I see them wandering near your lane or I see them doing this, I think they've got to be on the phone. Well, here's the sad part about it, folks. Half of you aren't even on your phone. You're just not paying attention. Come back to earth, folks. Come back to the point where you pay attention, because you're all driving around in 2,000, 3,000 pound, some more than that. Whoa, thank you for that. Ooh, right in the heart. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Vasquez. But you're driving, in fact, that's how you drive, right there. That's actually how I've seen you drive. And I've seen you as pedestrians walk like this. We have these big gates now, and lights, and I'm flipping over and over again. And I think I've lost a half a pound. But thank you for that. And they'll be 5 feet away from it, Dad, and they won't press the button. And then they're playing
Froggy.
They're Frogger.
Yep.
They're dodging cars. Okay, let's.
Yeah, but there's one good thing about that.
I know where he's going
Yep.
with this.
Culls the herd.
Thinning out the gene pool. Yeah, Dad. Still, I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Just like moons and like suns with a certainty of tides, just like hope spring high, still, I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does it offend you? Don't you take it awfully hard because I laugh because I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but like air, I still rise. Maya Angelou. God bless her. Dad, I told you I got to talk to her for like 5 minutes on C-SPAN about 15 years ago, and my whole question was shouldn't we teach our children more cultures and something outside of the box, that so when they do encounter, say, an Indian or a Muslim or even just anybody that quote is different, you know, you have a little bit of history. And my favorite part was Susan Page. She works for USA Today and does the C-SPAN. And she's taken my calls numerous times. And I was such a little kid when it came to talking to Maya Angelou. She's like, after 5 minutes, I'm like, you know, and she's like, okay, Dan, we got your question. You know, I'm like, I didn't want to. It's almost like you were like going. I didn't want to let her go because she is such an inspiration to so many people. And another inspiration, a couple inspirations. This week, we are filming this right now. How much time we got left, Miss Erica, in advanced class? We got 35? 30. Okay. December 7th.
Oh, yes.
75 years. Still amazed to see.
You've seen we went there to Honolulu, Pearl Harbor. And that is just, if you ever get the chance, the Park Service puts on the presentation. It is dynamite. You've got to go see it if you're ever in Oahu, in Honolulu. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and just the Arizona and seeing, you know, the memorial and the names on the wall. It's
well, the whole presentation before you even go
Oh,
outside
yeah.
was
Yeah.
more than. And actually, they had a pretty good presentation here in Tampa on the 7th. It was put on by a group of volunteers. It was very, very informative.
And here's the thing that I like too is there is an organization that will take veterans and fly them to, I mean, the remaining people that are still surviving from 1941 are few and.
There's, I think, 6.
Yeah, but when I see organizations that, you know, will bring veterans up to like the War Memorial up in Washington, D.C., or take them out to what my father just spoke about when it comes to Pearl Harbor and that memorial. You know, we have no one left from World War I. They're all passed.
Yep.
World War II, we're losing them at literally 1,000 people a day. And that's even the youngest that served, you know, they won't be here after a period of time. And, you know, if it wasn't for those folks, we'd be speaking German or Russian. Think about that, because, you know, even my dad's stomach right now is speaking Pig Latin, which I'm actually, was it Mexican? Okay, somewhere. But no, not to make light of this. I just want to thank the veterans and thank everyone, family, friends, supporters, because without you, we would not have the freedom of speech.
If it had been for the service, I would have never met you.
That's true.
Because I was raised Florida, here most of my life, joined the Air Force to see the world. Where do I get? MacDill, then Homestead, then Boca Chica Naval Air Station in the Keys.
And what we have here is, thank God, God bless America, and my dad's going, if I only got relocated to Alabama, things would have been different. No, but no, I got, Dad, you know what I've rediscovered, Dad? The greatness of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What do you mean rediscovered? I've never lost it.
I was, and Erica loves this set. This set. It's the look at her. She's like, yeah. Look. Didn't you have carpet like that, like in the 70s?
Yeah, but it was shag.
Was it the Elvis version, where if you fell in it, you possibly could have just suffocated?
It went up to your ankles.
Well, at that point, I was like, everything's good. But no, the greatness of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yes. Why do you think I have about probably 6 or 7 different kinds of jellies and jams at the house?
Well, Dad, if I'd known you'd been preserving your preserves and doing that, that's...
Cherry, mango, peach, apricot. blueberry, blackberry,
Oh,
raspberry.
did you say raspberry or raspberry?
It's R-A-S-P, berry, raspberry. Everybody says raspberry, but that's not the pronunciation of
Okay,
the word.
well, it's better than the generic version of Asbury. So we're not going to go there. School buses.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tennessee. Seatbelts? Hey, Florida.
Alabama.
Seatbelts?
Alabama.
The same thing. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, nobody has seatbelts for the school kids. Just, get in an accident. When the Tampa, when he went to the lake.
Thank you. But seatbelts cause more harm than they do to save them, according to the insurance company, according to the school district, according to the school bus
remove
driver.
them from cars.
Well, Dad, we buckle up our children in car safety seats.
Everything
we
else,
do the
yeah.
we do the trifecta.
Let's throw them in a tin can and haul them down the road at 50 miles an hour and see what happens.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
I to this point,
Absolutely senseless.
I don't get it. I really don't. Oh, talk about senseless. Chicago.
That was easy.
Chicago, my kind of town. Chicago. Why is everyone getting shot down? Dad.
Well, Detroit used to hold it, but there's not enough people in Detroit now to.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the scary part about it. Guess what was the murder capital of the United States before Chicago?
Detroit? I don't know.
No, Washington D.C.
DC.
Your backyard. Looking outside, what's going outside on the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Oh, wait a minute.
It's like that Chris Rock routine.
And he knows where I'm going with this.
All he did was stare at the carpet the entire time. Yeah. He wasn't going to stand up.
Well, still to this day, Chris Rock made the best comment ever when it came to violence.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
When it came to gun violence, and he goes, "What we need to do is we need to charge $1 million per bullet. We need to charge $1 million per bullet because then people won't be doing drive-bys. They won't be spraying bullets all over people's yards because they're like." Well, that's not economically, it does not make, sound fiscal sense here as far as, if it's going to cost.
Slingshots.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Thank you, by the way. By the way, I forgot, I was going to bring a jar today with a roll of nickels. So when I say literally, we won't go there. Teacher transferred over Trump-related remarks. And I love how we did that. A white Pasco County teacher accused of making racist comments to black students has been suspended without pay for 3 days. 3 days.
3 days.
So when he comes back from vacation, things are going to change.
Well, wait a minute. On that same vein, you remember Dick Gregory? He was a black comedian and activist.
Yes, he was.
He was telling the story about it was freezing cold. It's New York City. He was standing on a street corner, and a guy comes up to him and goes, "Say, why don't you go back to Africa and take me with you?"
Anybody?
Here's Dick Gregory.
Okay. Here's a side note. I think we got 20 minutes left, but do yourself a favor. Google Dick Gregory. There is, Dad. We've talked about the sewage problem. We've talked about the fact.
There is no sewage problem.
Dad.
Because it's all contained within the city halls of St. Petersburg.
That was a political statement.
Yes.
I actually
They
support.
won't do anything about it, so I mean.
But Dad. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. We needed that because
Wipe the slate clean.
yeah, wipe the slate clean. We need to get the quicker picker upper here. What's that say, Dad? Read that headline.
There is no sewage conflict, city says.
But St.
Oh,
Petersburg.
that's with the woman who was coming from the Department of Environmental Protection, state-wise, had applied for a job at St. Petersburg. Now, let me see. The DEP in the state, Scott, is just about emasculated. They can't do anything. So I think everybody's just trying to bail out of the boat. Yeah.
Dad, when I saw this headline, mayor rejects sewer hire.
Yeah.
You imagine that? You imagine that job interview? Well, you know, my qualifications are number one and number two. I've dealt with a fecal that matters. We're a little backed up here, and frankly,
The ball's in your own court.
you know, and that was bad. And you wonder where I get my sense of humor over here. Yeah, but here's the thing. The mayor rejected the hire because there was not enough fiber. Not enough fiber in the diet. That's where my dad goes. Another frazzled fall, no answers when it comes to our sewer situation. Like I said, we need a diaper, folks. We really do. Santa tells 9-year-old to lay off the hamburgers. This was one of my favorite headlines. And in fact, I talked to Santa in the mall walking up to the show.
Oh, okay.
Because, well, Santa was downstairs, and you know, and I just happened to walk by.
Did he say you lay off the burgers and the fries? No.
No, wait a minute. I just wait a minute. What? I wish we could capture the laughter.
Where was that state, though?
Laughter.
What was it? South Carolina?
Yep.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
And which has one of the highest obesity rates in the United States. So, you know, it wasn't too far off base.
You got. She's having way too much fun with that, and you wonder why I bring in these articles because I know I'm going to be subject to ridicule. John Glenn passed away this week.
Yes.
Ohio senator for more than 20 years. One of our true heroes when it came to. He became the first U.S. astronaut to orbit the Earth.
Friendship 7.
Yeah, splashdown a hero.
That was the only. It was only in space twice, because they figured it was too valuable to send back up. NASA.
That's
He
it.
didn't go back up till he was 77 years old.
And to me, Dad, that was one of the greatest moments when he was on the space shuttle and he was 77 years old. And I was talking to Mom about this the other day, and I talked to you about it. When he was looking down after 50, it's probably been 50 years since he'd been up there. And he's looking down. And if you want to do yourself a favor, folks, Google his speech from the space shuttle when he's going. And I think we all need this kind of perspective when we can look down on Mother Earth and think, why are we doing so much to harm each other? Why are we doing so much because of religion, because of wars, because of just the inability to work together? And John Glenn is 77 years old, and he's looking out the window, and his speech to this day still inspires me because, you know, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a senator, it wasn't an astronaut, it was just a human being that was looking out the window and going, folks, I think you need to see what I'm seeing, because if you're not seeing what I'm seeing, you're not getting what I'm trying to convey to you. And that was just simply, you know, it's a bigger picture. It really is. It truly is. Interesting story. Jameis Winston, our quarterback, the Bucs. Yes, we are actually winning, folks. He wrote a letter, Dad. And I love this headline: Winston, the letter in a lost art session. Somebody wrote me a letter. Very few folks do that anymore. Turn the page. Thank you. And,
Email.
And it's
Text. Twitter.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool. It's like I got to give the guy props.
Well, they're going to probably stop teaching cursive writing in school.
They don't even know how
most
to.
people-
Dad, they don't even know how to spell cursive anymore.
Yeah, they think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you cursing of me?
Yeah, exactly. You cursing at me? You talking to me? You cursing to me? Legislator hopes to undo the law helping undocumented students. This is something that has been on the radar, especially in Florida, and having lived in Texas and other states that have a lot of, immigration situations. The kids, do we educate them? Do we put them in school? Your thoughts?
Educate everybody. Everybody should get an education. I don't care what. And they go, well, they don't pay tax. Well, yes, they do too. If their family's living even in an apartment, they pay rent to the landlord. The landlord, in turn, has got the taxes for that property figured into that rent. So they're paying taxes. They also always will pay, depending on what kind of job they have, but income taxes as well are probably withheld, and they probably won't file to reclaim them, so you get a lot of free money. I don't understand what the problem is. They're paying for themselves. And besides that, this whole country is based on give me your huddled masses. That's what it says on the Statue of Liberty. No, you can come in, you can't. You got to stay out. You got to stay out. You from Sweden? Okay, you can come in. It's just absolutely ludicrous. The whole immigration thing is ludicrous.
Well, being Irish, and I was watching a special the other day about the racism against Irish people. They used to put signs up in the window, "No Irish need to apply."
No Irish or dogs.
Yeah, and it's can't we all just get along, folks? And of course, then we have, I love this headline: choices mostly white middle age when it comes to Trump's choices. The one thing about Trump, and I'm going to be very brief about this, is every president, every leader, I don't look at the leader or the president, I look at the people they surround themselves with. And that's the part where you need to pay attention, folks. Look at the people they surround themselves with. Because and right now, I'm seeing a whole bunch of middle-aged Mitch McConnells walking around, and they're all in their little thing.
Wait a minute. Pam Bonnie's liable to get back in
Yeah, okay, and then she can go to Vegas.
Well, she got 25 grand and dropped the case against Trump University.
My student was not student of the month at Trump University because guess what? They couldn't afford the bumper stickers. That's all I'm saying, and they couldn't spell FCAT. So, Trump says he's leaving businesses. They thought the Hillary Clinton Foundation or the Clinton Foundation was complicated. Wait till they started diving into his international stuff.
Dad, released his factors yet.
Dad, we've come across the greatest invention. And Erica, how much time we got left here? Because I think she just signaled a field goal or a touchdown. She's like this. She's like, I'm like, I think we just got a touchdown, and she's like, nope, I think you just missed the extra
10
point.
minutes.
Okay. Dad, read that. Please read that.
Cupcake ATM finally opened in Hyde Park Village.
Dad, quite possibly the greatest invention that I do not need is a cupcake ATM. And somewhere Erica in advanced class.
No, it is. I don't know why they call it ATM. All it is a vending machine.
Dad, I can put in a card, swipe it,
Yeah.
and I could get a cupcake.
For $4.55 a cupcake.
Holy crap. So that's
a spendy cake.
a
I hope it's got gold foil on it.
yeah, okay, the sprinkles are extra. Hillsborough may cut busing for people with kids 2 miles away from school. They're saying that if you're a kid who lives within 2 miles of a school in Hillsborough, it's inconvenient for us to come and pick you up, so you're going to have to figure out, or your parents are going to have to figure out how to get you to school.
Pinellas County, even when I was in school there, always it was a mile. If you lived within a mile,
I can understand if you if you could
within
see
a
the
mile.
school, if you could see the
Because,
school.
Well, when we lived in Tyrone Gardens, I used to ride my bicycle to Tyrone Elementary when I was in 5th and 6th grade. So, yeah, that was not that.
Okay, and by the way, getting back to baby Jesus, I know
Did he ride his bicycle to school too?
Well, I think the wise men actually were like on some kind of like carpooling situation.
No, it was car cameling.
And he wonders.
Camel pulling. Camel pulling.
By the way, we're going to document this one moment here, and I'm going to call him back on this after we do the show and go, you wonder where I get my sense of humor, Dad? Okay, best thing ever. And we mentioned baby Jesus being stolen, and I could picture you're in jail, and you're like, what are you in for? Stole Jesus. I'm sorry, what? I stole Jesus.
Grand larceny.
He stole Jesus? No, Jesus. I stole baby Jesus. And the churches and the nativity scenes that were, quote, politically incorrect, they decided to GPS Jesus. So the cops could track down where baby Jesus was taken. And right there, see that? That's actually the GPS tracker they put on baby Jesus. Dude, so you can imagine the stoners and they're all like going, oh man, we stole Jesus and now he's sitting in the corner of the house and we put a Rastafarian hat on him and he's looking really lovely. And then Mr. Smith, please release Jesus. Please bring Jesus out because we know he's there and we've tracked you with GPS. And I thought that was the funniest thing is they actually, so this is a word of warning. This show is December 10th. It'll air, 11, 12, 13, 14. Next week, Wednesday at 9 o'clock, live streaming. Robert, love you. Alabama, God bless you. Wendy, everyone, Matt, Mom, Wonder Bread. But don't steal baby Jesus because guess what? They're going to track your ass down. And you don't want to be the guy sitting in jail going, can you imagine the Law and Order episode of that one? Sir, how do you plead? I stole Jesus. What can I do? Salvation Army, they're not getting the money like they used to because, and if you want to talk about Christmas, the little bell outside there's 400 Salvation Army locations here in Tampa. And they're not getting the money because a lot of people either don't have the cash on them or we're all like swiping cards. So Metropolitan Ministries, Salvation Army, some of the places that truly do make a difference, please do not forget them.
Especially Salvation Army. And I know the ministries do a great job too. But the guy who runs Salvation Army makes a salary of $13,000 a year.
Well, Dad, one of the things that broke my heart about 15 years ago was looking into charities and where the money was going to. And March of Dimes is one of the better ones, but a lot of them, it's administration cost and it's conferences.
Yeah.
And,
about 45% of
Yeah,
all that you take in is for administration. Well, March of Dimes, when my uncle got polio back in the 50s, if it hadn't been for them, he would have died because he was in an iron lung for 2 years that March of Dimes paid for.
Amen. That's one of the things. By the way, a local donor here in Tampa, he did not give his name out, but I want to just give a shout out. We got 5 minutes left. We got the sign. Instead of getting this, we got 5. So
It was only half a field goal?
at this point, we're just lucky to score any points at this point. But no, there was a great story this morning, Dad. And I've come to the point now where I used to write the show like a week ahead and just be all
Jumbled.
yeah. And now this morning, it's almost 2 o'clock on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And there was a great story today. A donor pays $2,000 to pay for 100 pet adoptions at the Hillsborough shelter. And that $2,000 is going to pay for every expense when it comes to adopting an animal. Do not forget the older pets, the older dogs like us. You know, one day when you look across that room, you're gonna see us, and we're gonna like, you know, bring me home, please, because we all need shelter. We all need love, and you know, the cute kitties and the cute puppies and all like that are wonderful, but you know, we gotta make sure, you know, we take care of everyone that
Well,
needs.
they had 97 pets adopted that one day when they had all the
Yeah.
the chocolate labs. They had 12 chocolate labs that then wound up placing 97 animals that one day.
And that's
Way to
what
go.
that's what we like to hear.
And don't buy baby rabbits or baby chicks for your.
Yeah, or Dalmatian puppies because you think it's cute because it's a Disney film.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what to do with this, so we just return them back. Woman misunderstands deer crossing signs, call a radio station, and wants them moved. Dad, we've talked about this, folks, the deer crossing. Deer actually cause 165,000 accidents a year. Now, one lady called up and said if we moved the signs to where the deer could read them, you know, to where the deer could go, wait a minute, that's a bad place to cry. But if this is a good place to cry, Dad, I thought that was the best logic. In fact, she wrote a letter to the governor of Alabama stating, and she went on the radio going, excuse me, but you know, if we're putting the signs in the wrong location, because obviously the deer are not reading it. The dash, Dad, the dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted the first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. He said what mattered most of all was the dash among your years. For that dash represents the time that we spent alive on earth, and now only those who love know what that little line is worth. The show's almost over, and I'll be just about done, for it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard as the time is about to conclude. Are there things you'd like to change for you, and know how much time is left that can still be arranged? If we could just slow down to consider what is true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel. Be less quick to anger, show appreciation more, love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering this little dash only lasts a while. So when your eulogy is being read, when your life's actions are being rehashed, would you be proud of the things they say about your dash? God bless America. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Love you, advanced class.
Take care of each other.
Yes, pay it forward. Vaya con Dios.
3, 2, 1, 0. Adios.
If what you see and hear in this picture will keep one of you, only one person, from taking that first step, our purpose has been accomplished, and we are humbly thankful.
Listen in tomorrow, same time, same station. Time marches on.
Wit is the only wall between us and the dark.